Alright, what's going on, people of YouTube's Masculine News here, and I wanted to make this video today to talk about something that I think a lot of people need to understand. Probably about a half hour ago to about an hour, I've been talking back and forth with some people on a video that a YouTuber that I watch called Review Tech USA uploaded. Basically talking about how he feels his PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are basically just like PCs, which they are. And we got into the topic in the comments of that video about DRM. And I've come to the conclusion after the whole fiasco with Xbox One, or Microsoft and Xbox One, their DRM policies and stuff like that, and then of course them doing the 180 and getting rid of that completely. So essentially for me, I know that probably a lot of people know that probably within 2 or 3 years, Microsoft and Sony are going to be flipping the switch and turning on DRM on the consoles. Now, there are a few major reasons why I believe this is true. For one, Microsoft was already going to do it in the first place, and the gamers, they lashed out, they rebelled on it, and Microsoft said, okay, fine, you're not ready for it right now, and we'll take it away. And there's a lot of talk of whether Sony was going to do the same thing and pulled out last minute, just like Microsoft, because Microsoft had their press conference first, and they saw the backlash that Microsoft was getting. So a lot of people think that Sony, they got rid of their DRM policies before they even went out on stage. Who knows? Who really knows? It's only Sony knows that. I'm not saying that they did. I'm not saying that they are. There's lots of rumors that they were going to do DRM. But the fact of the matter is there are a few reasons why I believe, and a lot of other people believe, that these consoles, Microsoft and Sony, are just waiting 2 or 3 years from now to flip this switch, and boom, DRM is on consoles. So, hold on 1 second. Alright, so, reason number 1 is, when you buy a game, I will use this as an example. So, when you buy a game, you put it into your console, whether it's your PS4 or your Xbox One, and the first thing the console does is install the entire game to your hard drive. The entire game. Now, with the Xbox One games, what was supposed to happen is you'd put it in, you install the entire game, and then you take the disc out, you plop it back in its case, and you'll never have to put the disc in the console to play that game ever again. Now, I asked myself the same question. It's like, if Sony didn't want to do DRM, then why do they have their games installed to the hard drive as well? And of course, that got me thinking. So now we both have 8th generation consoles who install the full game onto their hard drive, to the point where you don't even need the disc. The disc is basically what allows you to play the game. I think the discs are what have the license on them, so the console knows that you paid for the game. Now, so there's your first indication. Why would you need to, a Blu-ray has anywhere between 60 to 120 gigabytes of space. Now, Grand Theft Auto is 46 megabytes. That's the full game, 46 megabytes. Now you're telling me that the full game would not fit on a Blu-ray? Like, there's no way that full game would fit on a Blu-ray? Of course it does fit on a Blu-ray, but why do we need to install it? There are Blu-rays out there that are reading, you don't install a Blu-ray movie on your Blu-ray player every time you put the movie in. And some of those movies are like 60, 80 gigs because the picture quality is so big. So it's not like the laser can't read it. And if the laser can't read it, then obviously there's, it still can install it. So what's the deal with that? Why do we have to install all of our games onto the drive? I know the PS3 installed their, pretty much a lot of their games onto the hard drive. But that was for optimization of games and stuff like that. But yeah, so I don't know. That's my personal opinion. I think that we are have to install every single game on our hard drive. So once they flip that switch for the DRM in 2 or 3 years, then all the games that we have installed and all the games that we install will, they'll push out a software update, and what'll happen is you'll put your disc into your Xbox One or your PS4, and it would install the entire thing plus the license off of the disc onto your hard drive, and then you won't need the disc anymore. Sounds cool, yeah. But consoles, for me, consoles have always been that you go out and you buy your game on a disc, cartridge, DVD, whatever, Blu-ray, CD-ROM, and then you could share with your friends. You can trade games with your friends, no problem, back and forth as many times as you like. And that's the way consoles are supposed to be. That's the way they've always meant to be. Now, the second reason why I think we're not going to see DRM, but we're going to see DRM in 2 or 3 years is because GameStop. Now, GameStop and EB Games, they've been doing a lot of, hey, we'll chip you a couple of $1 million and, you keep the DRM away so we continue making our money. So we can find out a business model that'll work good for us for when you do flip the switch. That'll give us, 2 or 3 years to figure out what we got to do to continue making money and whatnot like that in the used game side of things anyway, or to continue making the amount of money that they do. Whether it be they set up a system where, you could sell your DRM games for your consoles, whatever they decide to do, whatever. And that's just my opinion. GameStop is waiting, telling Microsoft and Sony here's a bunch of money, keep DRM off until we can find a way to continue making as much money as we do. Because it's not Microsoft and Sony that give a shit that they're selling used games. No. It's the publishers and developers that are annoyed at used game sales. That's why Microsoft said, no, it's not us who makes the decision if a game has DRM or not. No, it's the publishers and developers that have that control. So, it's not like they give a crap. Now, the third reason is because it's just not the right time. It is not the right time to install DRM on consoles because what would we do? We would say, nope, screw you, fuck Microsoft, fuck Sony. We are not buying your shit anymore if you don't keep this DRM on. They're gonna wait until gaming on consoles is at its lowest, and then boom, that's when they flip on the DRM. They throw out all these cool features centered around DRM, cheaper games maybe, something along those lines, and boom, DRM. Everybody is happy because they get new features, new deals, and then we will live in a world where consoles are exactly like our PCs, DRM to the max. It's the same thing that happened with PC. PC at one point, people were trying to rebel against DRM on PC. And it was around the time that PC gaming started to die that Steam stepped in and said, hey, here's a platform where you can download all your favorite games. We have a bunch of Steam sales. We have a bunch of sales all the time. Publishers control what games they put out there, DRM, locking, whatever like that, go nuts. And that's exactly what happened, and that's what saved gaming on the PC. So I think the consoles, Microsoft and Sony are waiting for a point where it's like, okay, everybody is ready for us to flip the switch on DRM. We will break it to them very lightly, but we're still going to do it anyway. So here you go, DRM, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So the 3 reasons why I think DRM is coming in the next 2 or 3 years on consoles. You have to install every single one of your games. And Xbox One already had DRM set in place anyway, and they got rid of it easily so they could easily put it back. And step 3, because they want people who have a large sum of money who keeps paying them off, like GameStop, to wait until they can figure out another way to make money. And 3 is because we're just not ready for it yet. They know that we're not ready. We would beat the living ever shit out of them if they were ever to turn on DRM right now. They will wait. Maybe they will do it silently overnight. Who knows? Or maybe they'll add a feature one day. Hey, you can put in your discs and you don't need the discs anymore after the game installs. That would be the first step of DRM. But anyway, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Make sure you post down in the comments and let me know what you think. Do you think DRM is coming to consoles eventually? When do you think it'll be coming? If not, post down and let me know what you think. Please go ahead and like this video. I would try to want to shoot for maybe 5 likes for this video. I'm trying to, hit these like markers for my channel and stuff like that. If you haven't hit the big red subscribe button yet, please do so. And as always, I'm Masculish. Thank you for checking out this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Hey, on a mobile phone? No problem, I got you covered. If you want to watch one of the featured videos, Featured 1 and Featured 2, look down in the description. If you want to continue watching the series, look down in the description for next parts when available.